In the summer of 1965, the air over South Asia was thick with tension. The world watched as the conflict between India and Pakistan seemed inevitable. At the heart of this brewing storm was the Pakistan Air Force, preparing to defend its skies against a much larger, better-equipped adversary, the Indian Air Force. The PAF's primary weapon was the F-86 Sabre, a fighter aircraft that had been a hero in the Korean War, but was now considered outdated. Still, the PAF pilots were determined. They were outnumbered and had few advanced aircraft, but they were ready to face the challenge head-on. The story begins as Pakistan's pilots, with adrenaline coursing through their veins, prepared for the war that was about to unfold. In their hangars, the Sabres sat, reliable, but aging. A small number of F-104 Starfighters, the pride of the PAF, were scattered in the fleet, their sleek frames a stark contrast to the older planes. These starfighters were fast and deadly, and they would soon prove to be a game-changer. When war finally erupted, it was the PAF that struck first, launching daring preemptive strikes on Indian air bases. Pilots, sitting in the cockpit of their Sabres, braced themselves for what they knew would be an intense battle. They cut through the skies, their hearts racing as they crossed into enemy territory, ready to fight for their homeland. The dogfights that followed were nothing short of brutal. Against the backdrop of tracer fire and exploding missiles, the PAF pilots engaged in fierce aerial duels with the IAF's more advanced Hawker hunters. But despite being outclassed, the PAF pilots fought with unparalleled skill and bravery. They outmaneuvered their larger opponents, turning what seemed like a desperate struggle into a contest of superior tactics and willpower. Amidst these dogfights, the F-104 Starfighters emerged as the true heroes. Though few in number, their very presence in the skies over Pakistan was enough to send a message to the IAF. These aircraft were not to be underestimated. Indian bombing missions were often deterred the moment the Starfighters took to the air, their speed and precision striking fear into the hearts of their enemies. The PAF pilots pushed themselves to the limit, flying multiple sorties a day, defending their airspace against the relentless waves of the IAF. The pressure was unrelenting, but they didn't falter. Each sortie, each mission, brought with it the constant reminder of the immense odds stacked against them. And yet they pressed on, knowing that the fate of their country depended on them. Meanwhile, the bombing raids from both sides escalated. The PAF's B-57 bombers carried out daring night raids on Indian targets, often having to evade enemy interceptors and anti-aircraft fire. The sky was alive with explosions as both air forces struggled for dominance in the air and on the ground. But it wasn't just the machines that made the story compelling. It was the men behind the controls. Fricker's account is filled with personal stories, moments of fear, bravery, and resilience. Pilots from both sides shared their experiences, revealing the toll the war took on them. They fought not just for victory, but for survival, knowing every mission could be their last. These personal moments brought humanity to the intense mechanical conflict unfolding in the skies. As the war neared its peak, the PAF's pilots had begun to turn the tide. Despite being outnumbered, they shot down several IAF aircraft, shifting the balance of power in their favor. Their remarkable feats of skill and courage were beginning to catch the world's attention. And as the ceasefire finally arrived, the air battle was over, but its impact would resonate for years to come. Fricker concluded his account with a reflection on the performance of both air forces. While the IAF had a numerical advantage, it was the PAF's professionalism and bravery that won the day. The PAF had successfully defended its skies against an overwhelming enemy, showing that strategy, skill, and determination could overcome even the most daunting odds. As the war progressed, countless heroic actions were taken by both sides, but perhaps none as memorable as Squadron leader Devayya's bravery. In the face of near-certain death, he took on the might of Pakistan's F-104 Starfighter with nothing but his wits and courage. His story is one for the history books, and you can learn more about his extraordinary sacrifice in our detailed video on his biography. Battle for Pakistan, the Air War of 1965, is not just a chronicle of aerial combat. It is a story of valor, grit, and sacrifice. It is a testament to the spirit of the PAF,
who, despite all challenges, took to the skies and fought for their country, leaving behind a legacy of courage that would inspire future generations.
Subscribe to stay updated on more fascinating historical discoveries and hidden stories. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know about our new videos, behind-the-scenes content, and community updates. Plus, it's a great way to support the channel.